Hello guys, today we will learn the control structures or flow control of C language. The statements that control the flow of the program are called control structures or flow control statements. All C programs can be written in terms of only three control structures: sequence structure, selection structure, and repetition structure. This figure clearly shows about the various types of control structures. Each type is again divided. Let's look at each of them one by one. Normally, statements in a program execute one after the other in the order in which they are written. This is called sequential execution. As you can see in the program that all the statements will be executed sequentially. From the header files up to the getch function, the execution will be one after the other. This program will first clear the screen and then display the C programming message onto the screen. This sequence structure is built into C language. Unless directed otherwise, the computer automatically executes C statements in the sequence. But there are certain conditions that may arise in the programming which causes the order of execution of statements to change. These conditions direct the computer to make a decision, and based on these decisions, the execution order may change. Let's discuss first the selection statements. These are also known as decision making and branching. Branching is so called because the program chooses to follow one branch or another. C provides two types of selection structures in the form of statements. First, if statement, and second, switch statement. Let's look first the various if statements. C language provides four types of if selection structures in the form of statements: the if selection statement, the if else selection statement, nested if else statements, and the last, the else if ladder. The if statement either runs an action if the condition is true or skips the action if the condition is false. As you can see in the program, if grade is greater than or equals to 60, passed is displayed. It means on true condition the if block is executed, and on false condition the if block is not executed. The last printf statement prints the end of program message because it does not the part of the if block. Next, take if else statement. The if else statement either executes an if block for the true condition or else block for the false condition. This program will display both passed and failed message depending on the condition. For the true condition, passed is shown, and for the false condition, failed is shown. The last printf statement will print the message end of program, whether the if condition is true or false. It means this printf does not depend on the if else statement. Nested if else statements test for multiple cases by placing if else statements inside the if else statements. We can say that if else can be inside in the if block or in the else block in the nested if else statements. You can see in the program code. Actually, this is not a complete program, but only shown here to understand the nested if else. This is a simple code to find out the maximum number out of the three numbers a, b and c. Here a, b, c are variables and they have some numeric values. So first we compare a to b. It can be true or false depending on the values of a and b. If this is true, then the if block is executed, and for false, the else block is executed. Let's assume that this condition is true, means a is greater than b. So next we have to compare a with c. Now this condition again may be true or false. If this is true, then we can say surely that the value of a is maximum among a, b and c. But if this is false, then c will be maximum. But what happened if the value of a is not greater than b? That means b is greater than a, so we have to compare b with c. And depending on the values of b and c, either b will be greater or c will be greater among all the three numbers. Let's look at the else if ladder. The else if ladder helps the user decide from among multiple options. In this, the conditional expressions are evaluated from the top downwards. As soon as a true condition is found, the statement associated with it is executed and the rest of the ladder is bypassed. If none of the condition is true, then the final else statement will be executed. Else if ladder can be used when you have the range of values. For example, in a student grading system, there may be different grades depending on the marks range. As mentioned here, that on equal or above 75 marks, honors will be given to the student. From 60 to 74, first division, from 50 to 59, second division, from 36 to 49, third division, and below 36 marks, student will be failed. Note that this program can be done using if-else statement also, but the use of else if ladder makes the code easier to read and understand. Also note that only the value of the starting range is written in each if or else if. For example, if the user inputs the grade 75, the honors will be printed and the rest of the else if or else statement will be skipped. If the user inputs grade 54, the second division will be printed and the rest of the else if or else will be skipped. Now look at the switch statement. We should use a switch statement if the selection depends on the value of one integer expression, because it makes the code more readable. The switch statement consists of a series of case labels, an optional default case, and statements to execute for each case. The switch expression and the case values must be of an integer or character type. Let's see the syntax of the switch statement. There can be many cases depending upon the different values of the expression. The expression is evaluated once and compare with the constant expressions or values in the case labels. Once the case match is found, a block of statements associated with that particular case is executed. If none of the case value match, the program continues at the default label if there is one. The break statement is optional, but if there is no break statement found in the case, all the subsequent cases will be executed. The default label is optional and can be placed at any position in the switch body. Once the switch is executed, the control will go to the statement X and the execution of the program will continue. Let's take in program code. If the user inputs the grade value as capital A or small a, honors will be printed. The break statement after puts will transfer the control outside the switch statement and the end of switch message will be printed. If the user inputs the grade value as capital or small c, the case C will be executed directly and second division will be printed. Just like that, on grade value E, fail is displayed. And besides these case values, wrong input message will be printed. Now starts looping. C provides three types of iteration or looping structures in the form of statements, namely while, do while, and for. Most programs involve iteration or looping. A loop is a group of statements or instructions the computer executes repeatedly while some loop continuation condition remains true. We discuss two means of iteration: counter controlled iteration and sentinel controlled iteration. Counter controlled iteration is sometimes called definite iteration because we know in advance exactly how many times the loop will be executed. Sentinel controlled iteration is sometimes called indefinite iteration because it is not known in advance how many times the loop will be executed. In counter control iteration, a control variable is used to count the number of iterations. The format with syntax for all the three types of loops are presented here. You can see that in while loop, condition is placed inside the parentheses. Relational operators are used to make condition because they return always true or false. In C language, true is represented by 1 and false is represented by 0. While and for loop are same, but a little difference that in for loop condition is placed between semicolon inside the parenthesis. We will discuss the general format of the for loop later in this video. The while and for loop is a top-driven loops. First, the loop condition, that is the controlling expression, is evaluated. If it yields true, the loop body is executed, and then the controlling expression is evaluated again. If the condition is false, program execution continues with a statement that follows the loop body. The do while is a bottom-driven loop that checks the condition after executing its statements. As you can see in the figure, a semicolon is also placed after parentheses. The initial value of the counter variable is 1. The condition is true for this counter value. Counter ++ increase the value of counter by 1 So the loop statements will be executed for the counter value 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 because for these values the condition remains true. When the counter reaches to value 6, the condition gets false and the control goes out from the loop. Sentinel values are used in looping when the precise number of iterations is not known in advance and the termination of the loop depends on the statements inside the loop. In this program code, you can see that the loop executes till the condition num greater than 0 is true. In the first code, loop will be executed 3 times because for the values 123, 12 and 1 the condition will be true and after that the condition will be false. But in the second code, loop will be executed 4 times because for the values 5432, 543, 54 and 5 the condition will be true and after that the condition will be false. In both cases the loop execution depends on the value of num, so this loop is called sentinel controlled loop. C has divided the 3 loops into 2 categories, entry controlled and exit controlled. While and for loop are entry controlled loops, whereas do while is a exit controlled loop. In entry control loop, the test condition is checked first and if that condition is true, then the block of the statement will be executed. Exit control loop first executes the body of the loop and checks the condition at the end. Exit control loop always executes at least once. While and for loop first check the condition and then permit to execute the loop statements. The do while loop permits to execute the loop statements without being checked the condition. In this loop, the condition checks at the end of the loop block. Now